Let's talk about growing on X. This module is going to be about everything you need to know so that you can get your first 10,000 followers organically. This isn't some smoke and mirrors show. This is going to be real strategies, real techniques that are going to bring you real followers. And to do this, we're going to cover a few things. We're going to talk about how to hack the X algorithm so that you can use it to your advantage. We're going to talk about how to leverage the analytics inside of X so that you can understand your audience better. And all of this is for creating the most organic following. Organic follower growth equals real growth. And you cannot have $1 million brand without $1 million audience. Let's get right into it. So the one thing that you need to know about X, everything needs to be viewed through this lens, is that the X algo wants people spending more time on X. The whole point is to keep people here on the platform. If you can create this zombified audience that's walking through Times Square, loving everything that you create, well, you are going to get more love from the algo with boosts for your current content and your future content as well. Meanwhile, the other hand is true. If you write content that flops or takes people away from this platform, the X algo eventually will learn to deprioritize you. The goal of X is to keep people addicted to this platform, keep them here, and you can exploit this by understanding your analytics. We're going to give you 3 hacks that are going to help you leverage the analytics inside of X. And the first one is to start paying attention to your impressions. Yes, likes, retweets, comments, all of those things are great, but impressions are the most important metric on X because that's the common denominator between all of those other analytics. They all lead to more impressions, more views, more time on the platform equals more distribution from this algo. And all of this is traffic. It leads people to your page. This whole idea for views per hour comes from my friend, Save Your Sons, and I will tell you exactly how you measure this. So what you need to do is you need to take a look at what your impressions are. You open up your X analytics, see what your impressions are. He will literally take a stopwatch. He will hit the start button, and he will measure what his posts get per hour, a baseline views of per hour. It's a impressions per hour metric that he uses. He hits start, comes back, measures an hour later, 60 minutes later, hits stop, and he sees how many views that post got. And then he will rank this in accordance to other posts that he has had in a past, and he will continually write content that exceeds the views per hour from previously before. So you may be sitting here thinking like, well, what's a good views per hour? That's not the point. There are many different types of accounts that are out there on X. What you need to do is get your average, and then whatever exceeds the average, you should consider it good content for your audience and continually move toward that direction. Let's talk about profile visits. Profile visits lead to growth because when somebody comes to your profile, it is then an opportunity to turn them into a follower. But what you may not have known is there is certain content that leads to more profile clicks. So create content that generates profile clicks. So there's a couple ways to do this. The first one is a method where you are measuring your profile clicks in relationship to your impressions. So what you need to do is you need to take the profile clicks and take a look at it based off of its 1,000 views. So how many profile visits is this creating based off of its 1,000 views? Understand that ratio and then create content that is exceeding that baseline. One of the things that I love about Tweet Hunter is that it will simplify this process even further. It will show you how many profile visits and rank all of your tweets based off of this one particular metric. I have not seen this anywhere else. So yeah, so you can get on Twitter Analytics, X Analytics, a ranking of all of your tweets from impressions, engagement, likes, all of those things. But Tweet Hunter has one where it just shows you all of your top performing tweets based off of profile visits. And the cool thing that you will learn is certain types of content get more profile visits than others, and that type of content leads to more growth, and you can get to that 10,000 followers quickly. All right, let's talk about the follower growth now. I have all these people coming to my page and I'm writing great tweets that generate lots of impressions. Well, you need to ask yourself, what percentage of profile visits are you converting to followers? A low conversion rate is then a poor sign of branding. And we talked about that in the $1 Million Branding module. If your brand is not understood or people don't understand the benefit, it's not clear, then you are not able to capture the traffic. And then is a signal that you are having a branding problem. So let's talk about conversion rates. What you need to do is you need to take a look at the amount of profile clicks that you are generating from a day-to-day basis, and then stack it up from a follower growth perspective. Are you converting at least 20% of your page visits from that day? If not, there is probably a weakness in your branding. If you have much higher than 20%, that's a signal that you have a great brand. If you are much lower than 20%, well, then you need to maybe head to the first module again, take a look at that $1 Million Brand, put it together, maybe get some people critiquing your profile, try some different things, and then you are going to make follower growth so much easier once you're above that 20% range. All right, let's talk about hands-on tactics that you can use to create and further your organic growth. Now that we've talked about analytics and the algo, I want you to think about this. You ultimately need to turn your page in a place to be. X itself is a gigantic forum, and you need to ultimately turn your page into a forum, a place, a destination for people to go, share their ideas, talk, communicate. If you can do this, you are playing the game of X. First strategy that you need to do, the first thing you need to do, is to make sure your account is set up as legit as possible in the eyes of X. There are so many bot accounts that are out there, and X is out there to limit their reach as much as possible. So these are steps that you can take to increase your reach even before you play this forum game. And the first thing you need to do is get verified. Get that blue check as quickly as possible. It doesn't matter if you're paying for the $3 serve. There's many tiers that are out there. Just get one of them. It can be the $3, it can be the 10, it could be the 20 something. They even have a $1,000 level. Get verified as quickly as possible as soon as you are eligible for that. Right before you do that, though, make sure all of your branding is set, because when you change your profile picture, unfortunately, it takes away that blue check and many of the algorithmic benefits that happen because of it, okay? So make sure you keep your branding set. Once you know where that is, make those changes to the alt. Yeah, we talked about that on Module 1, but make sure you are set in place. You need to be active for 30 days on this platform as well. I would also make sure you confirm your phone number, set up all forms of ID. Make sure you have the two-factor ID, go through all of those processes to make sure your account is seen as legitimate as possible from this platform. I would avoid all forms of spam in the early stages, like auto DMs. They're great for huge content creators that are out there. I would avoid that for the beginning part. Nothing that makes you look like a bot. No links that you're spamming onto the timeline. Your goal from day one is to up that tweet cred score, which is this hidden score for your account. Get as many hit points. Think of it like you're adding up hit points to your account. Put as many, up that tweet cred score as much as possible. Be seen as human as much as possible. And then that will expand your reach as much as possible. Second stage is to start forming relationships as quickly as possible. This is with accounts that are small and accounts that are big that are out there. So earlier we talked about in Create. Make sure you have that list of accounts that you want to be like, you're looking up to, and you're taking a look at the type of content that you're creating, you're studying their branding, but also make sure you subscribe to them. You can even put them on a list, because you are going to engage with them. They already have massive amounts of traffic on their page. Steal their traffic that is out there. Subscribe to them, put them on a list, even put their notifications on. Your goal from the early stage is to focus on outbound, to be seen in the forum first. Reply to the comment on their posts as quickly as possible with comments that are adding to the conversation. Here's a great comment underneath a Culture Critic post. And this one received 15,000 likes and 250,000 views. This is much bigger than what he would have gotten if he posted this under his page. And all of this being seen leads to follower growth. So make sure you hit the subscribe, make sure you turn the notifications, and leave intelligent comments. Also reply to people who are posting under your page and interacting with you, right? Because we're trying to build the Coliseum. Think of it as you're building the Coliseum, right? Reply to the comments, initiate DMs with people who are fans of what you're doing, join some of the communities that are out there, participate in the communities, form your own networking groups, and use a lot of what you need to do from a forum strategy. Put some questions in your posts. Invite the audience to engage with the post. A lot of times people will type out all of this great content, but it's just a statement. There is nothing that is there's no Lego aspect to it. You want to make sure that your content continually goes somewhere so that people can continually engage with it. And last said is be a type of account that is seen as one that is helping each other's out. Eventually, people are going to gravitate towards you. Common rule, common denominator is X is a networking site. The more you interact with people on X, the more likely that they are going to interact with you. Now, this is a simple tip for y'all, but one that needs to be stated. Be consistent. I personally have never taken a day off on this platform. I've been around for 3.5+ years. I love every single day that I am here. One thing that you can do is AOP, should I schedule some posts? I think that that's fine. I schedule one post per day-ish. With my alt accounts that I have multiple accounts. I will schedule more posts throughout the day, and I will mix it in with off-the-cuff accounts posts as well. So for my main account, I'll schedule one post per day, and then throughout the day, I'll be thinking about things. I'll write an email. I'll be talking with people in my network, and that will spur ideas for other content, and I'll mix that in with the off-the-cuff. For to schedule posts, you can use the Tweet Hunter, and it's especially it's great for scheduling posts, and it's great for the analytics as well with the profile visits. You have a free month. You can check the email for the free month, or you can even DM me, and I will send you the code for the free month of Tweet Hunter that comes with Create 24/7. And the last thing I want to say is have fun. Just rewire your whole experience. You're not on here to have a bad time. You're here to make friends and meet people. That's all about what social networking is. It's a social network. Have fun, meet people, and enjoy the process here, and you will never want to miss a day. Here's my streak that I have going right now. Every single day, I'm writing. Every single day, I am creating. So I want you to think of this as well. We're not just going to add followers to our account. All of this analytical approach is great. And if you do all of these things we just talked about, you are going to get followers. But you want to also add high quality followers. The higher quality content that you write, the higher quality content, the followers you attract. And so just approach this by always leading through a value perspective. Here's Culture Critic leading with a value. This is a viral post. And here's Kieran Drew leading with a story that's telling people who he is. Posts that are on the right-hand side lead to better followers. I'm not saying not to ever use anything on the left-hand side, but you want to mix it in together and build yourself a dynamic audience. You want that $1 million audience, and $1 million audience is going to have quality followers. The best way, the highest level of followers are people who hit that follow button through authority posting. And we cover authority posting in Create 24/7, but I want to clarify it a little bit more. These are people who see the results that you're bringing to the table and then hit the follow button because of the results that you bring. So one thing that you can do is, and J.K. Molina is a master at this, post screenshots of your results. Oh, Yo-G just closed a $20K deal from Twitter. This is going to land him clients. If you're a fitness coach, maybe you can show some of the testimonials that your customers have. You can even put it in the highlights section. By the way, put these in the highlights section of your X profile. Show the testimonials that your customers are giving you. They've improved this much, or any of the comments they're making. Post your results. Take a look at this. I will show you. Here's one that I did. We've earned $750K on Gumroad. To celebrate, now look how many profiles to impressions. This generated a high number of profiles 2 impressions, it's telling me, and it's converting a high percentage of followers too. This converted somewhere in the 40% range. This is telling me my audience wants to see more of that. And not only that, it's leading to high quality followers who are going to be potential buyers as well. Last, when I go to your timeline, everything should be about you, not other people's brands and not other people's stuff, right? Repost content that praises you. Here's one from Amanda Farm Fitness. This is a reply under Justin Welsh, HES, as Save Your Sons and Create 24/7 are ninjas at helping me understand how to do social media. Loving it. That is for sure going on my timeline. People post positive things about you, repost it. That's the only type of repost that should be on your timeline is people giving you praise. That's it. Now let's talk about growth through buzz. If you're a forum, you want people talking about you. When you go to a restaurant and you enjoy the experience there, you're going to be telling everybody that you loved it. And it's the same with what you do and the type of ideas that you bring to the table. So one of the best ways you can do this is, Greg Lunt says, authority through audio. Get buzz through spaces. 2 ways to do it. If you're a small account, you need to start attending spaces regularly. How much AOP? As much as possible. And it's not good enough to just attend the spaces. You need to get on stage. This is the thing a lot of people are forgetting. They're just attending these spaces, but nobody sees them there. Get on the stage. Here's what happens when you get on stage. When you start talking, everyone who is in attendance will be prompted to give you a follower. There will be a prompt that will show up on their phone. Oh, so-and-so is speaking. You don't follow them. Would you like to give them a follow? You will gain followers just by being on the space and talking. So get on the stage, get a vibe for what's going on, listen to the speakers, and then what you're going to do is you're going to request to take the mic. Now, if they go to attend, by the way, you need to attend spaces where the content creators are letting people on stage. If they're not letting people on stage, go somewhere else. Unless you're really there to just be a consumer. There's nothing wrong with that, but just realize you're not going to get any results from it, okay? Request to be on stage. You can send them a nice DM just to say, hey, I'm really enjoying this. I can add some value to this. Make sure your profile is set up well. You got the blue check and your profile looks good. When you get on stage, there's a hand raise icon that as of right now is only on the phone. Raise your hand. They'll call on you. When you talk, praise the person who's hosting. Say, this is such a great, I've been on Wolf Spaces. Say, thanks for this opportunity, Wolf. Thanks for letting me speak. Be respectful to your audience. Flex some of your knowledge by adding value to the spaces. And what you're going to do is you're just going to sit back and gain all of those sweet followers who are following you for all of the right reasons. They're hearing your voice. They're hearing your authority. They're hearing your authenticity. It's the best way to grow. And then eventually you want to host spaces. You can use the attending the spaces as practice, host those spaces, and then you got to get this buzz, right? Invite as many people as possible. Send it to your email list. I'm hosting a space. Get people there 24 hours in advance. Tweet out, we're doing a spaces tomorrow. Get as many co-hosts as possible because their audience is going to see the space, and get as many people on stage as possible. And ask your audience to retweet the link to the space. You just want to get it seen as much as possible so that you can get as many people there, and be a solid host. That means give everybody keep the pace of the space moving quickly. Always think of the audience. Keep the space of the space moving quickly. Rotate through the speakers. Only have people on stage who want to participate. And praise the people who are on stage and participating. Say, hey, you know what? Give Greg a follow. Give him a follow. He's been adding so much value. Click on his profile picture. Give him a follow. I appreciate you, Greg. People who contribute to the space, you should pay them back because you want to encourage them to be there, especially the good ones. Lastly, you can put a tweet in the nest, which is a great feature because you always want to have people going somewhere to a potential offer. Maybe you have an email list. Say, hey, I've got this email list or this Telegram chat or this course or this service. DM me directly. It's actually better to put that tweet in the nest and say, hey, click the link in the nest and find out more about whatever offer or service you are trying to put together. You can use all of those methods that I've talked about, and you can easily get to 10,000 easily. The way that the X algo is set up, it's to reward people who are spending time on this platform. All you need to do is understand that. There are many inorganic methods that are still out there to this day. This includes buying followers, buying shoutouts, buying engagements. It all leads to poor followers. It all leads to people who are never going to engage with this content. And sometimes I get asked, like, I can go to pages and I know who is buying followers and who's buying engagement. And one of the hallmarks of this is you see all of these retweets. This is just so, it looks so fake. Retweets are 15,000, 30,000 likes, all of these fake impressions, and yet it only has 77 comments to it. Whenever you see some of those posts that get such massive engagement, a few little forum participation from that forum perspective it's obviously fake. All right, so these inorganic methods, and that's a mistake people make, is just using any one of those methods. But other mistakes that people make is that they're not there. Okay, mistake number one that creators make is they're not on the platform enough. They post once, put down the phone, and that's it. They're done for the day. People want to, X is a networking site, and people want to interact with content creators who are showing up daily and who are regularly posting and regularly participating in the forum. Mistake number two is not replying. There's people out there that just post and then they ghost, and they don't foster any relationships with their audience and their communities. Mistake number three people are making is not utilizing spaces. I don't understand. It's a growth hack on this platform. Get inside, get on spaces, get on stage. If you're not comfortable speaking, it's going to actually make you a better writer, by the way. But get comfortable speaking and just get your practice. Just get on other people. Just start asking. All you need to do is attend and add value to these spaces. Mistake number four is not active in any communities. The fastest growing accounts that I have seen are the ones that are the most active inside of communities. And mistake number five is not generating that buzz. People want to be around accounts that other people are talking about positively. All right, so here's a blueprint to 10,000 for you. AOP, how fast should I be doing? So many people are so worried about, I need to hit this by this XYZ. Yeah, you know what? Look, you need to grow at your own pace and do it the right way more. But I did include this so that people can see some kind of outline of what to do. So put that profile together, get yourself verified, start building your network and building relationships. Then you're going to start to understand what people like from an analytical perspective, which is going to help you write content. And then you continually refine that content strategy, consistently engage with your audience, host spaces, create buzz, and have people talking about you. You can get up to 10,000 realistically in 6 to 8 months through a complete organic strategy. You may get there quicker. You may get there. I've seen accounts get there in a few days. But you want to get there at your pace, building the right kinds of people who are going to potentially be future customers. And that's what we're going to talk about next. We've talked about branding, we've talked about networking, we've talked about content, and we've talked about growth hacks and algo hacks. But what is it all for? It's all for the monetization. And all of our upcoming modules are going to be talking about that. All right, stay tuned.